Why are kids bringing knives into school in the first... What's going on? Why has there been this explosion of kids carrying knives? What's it about?
I think it's a wider problem. I think we need to really sit down with lots of different people, from the police, from social services. We need to look at families, social economics. We're talking about youth clubs being closed. We're talking about opportunities. So it's a wider issue, but it's something that the government needs to support schools. They are supporting schools at the moment, but more needs to be done, and we need to address this issue.
So it seems like the government's saying at the moment, well, actually, schools need to look at their own security to make sure they're safe. But you're saying, well, actually, you know, we need some help from the government to be able to do that.
I think it's about a collective approach. I think we can't just expect schools to just do it all by themselves. I think we all need to come together, the police as well, and we need to have a plan to support teachers and support schools and young people.
You know, there are some schools where there are metal detectors. It's not a very nice place to go and be educated, go to be part of a happy learning community in the morning, but that's necessary to keep kids safe. Now, there'll be some parents out there that think, oh, this doesn't apply to me, this is only an urban problem. You know, Errol, don't you, that that's not the case?
Yeah. I think it's also important to highlight that this isn't just an urban problem. This is something that's affecting the whole country. And it's something that we all need to just come together and look at.
Is that the answer, though? Should all schools have metal arches?
I think it's a bit more complex than just saying all schools should have metal detectors and arches. I think it's about looking at the area, looking at the demographics, looking at the hotspots, and actually targeting areas in schools more effectively.
Well, so the trouble is, it's a societal issue, isn't it? You know, we've seen an increase in knife crime, and it just seems to be that it's the fear, isn't it, from kids, from young people, that they need to protect themselves, and that's why they carry a knife. And that kind of needs to be tackled at the root cause. It is the answer, sort of, you know, people coming into schools and saying, look, I carried a knife, this happened to me, don't do it, there are other ways to sort your problems out. You know, is it sort of education as well that's part of it?
It is education, but I don't think there's one solution. There are some great organisations that I work with and I know of, and they're doing great work with schools, but I think it's more than that.